got you. Yeah, they said it's all on you. Yeah. I just told him take the wheel, I'm just walking in my purpose, on purpose. I got the faith, I know I'm working. Protect my inner peace, I'm digging deep and really only scratching surface. It ain't perfected, but it's perfect. I just told him take the wheel, I'm just walking in my purpose, on purpose. I got the faith, I know I'm working. Protect my inner peace, I'm digging deep and really only scratching surface. It ain't perfected, but it's perfect.
Here on Stewart Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose, and today we have two special guests. We have one of the third best quarterbacks in the nation, young, up and coming, great student athlete, not only a great athlete, but an athlete in class as well. Got great character, great leadership skills. He leads his team. He plays the game the right way. And we also have with us a coach, a father, a husband, great leader, great man. A lot of the kids and his players respect him. They look up to him. Great football IQ. Today we have with us quarterback King Holland and coach William Holland. How y'all doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Definitely appreciate it, and proud to be on here.
I'm doing
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So King, how did this football journey start for you? How old were you when you first played football, and was football your first sport?
Football wasn't my first sport. I started football when I was like 5, but usually I was playing like basketball before I played football.
Okay.
Then
So
I started into baseball. I played both now, but I had to start baseball because COVID was coming. And after
okay.
that, I ran track.
Wow. So you multi-sports athlete, great as well. When did you see your game start to take off in football and you start to get better and your game was developing?
When I was at Marietta, I
Okay.
think it was my first year, like in 2019.
Okay. And Coach William, when did you notice his game exceed and start accelerating that he could really be elite at that position or even at that sport, being that he was playing multiple sports?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like you said, starting off before we got into football, he tried soccer, basketball. He did really well at soccer. Basketball, it was a little bit shaky or whatever, but when we got here to Georgia from Indiana, it really had took off because I got here and I had more time to spend with him, get him trained up. Like you said, we came through Marietta. And I want to say for me, what really showed him taking off as a quarterback was maybe about seven U going into 8U. We started training with TC Lewis, which is Julian Lewis, and he, really kind of put him on that track to be where he at today.
Yeah. And being that quarterback is a hard position, being that, the stereotypical of what it is to be a pocket passer or whether a running quarterback, how do you manage to allow him to be himself and be the dual quarterback or the long passing third quarterback that he is?
I mean, it just comes from the coaches that train them, So again, first, TC had always told me to just let him be who he's going to be. And then when we got with Ron Ville just kind of, well, even trainers in between there. Got a guy, Coach Marr. He's over at like the McEachern area. He gave him a lot of props and told him all of them told me let him be who he's gonna be. You can't really tone anything down. He'll end up finding it. So, his journey been from very, I would say 90% mobile to now more so 90%, 80 to 90% now pocket, throwing, reading defense, things like that.
Yeah. And King, playing up, how do it feel to be playing against older people? And what is your experience being that you've been playing up? And even now, like, what is your experience being a younger athlete playing up against older teammates in older competition?
It's a challenge because I gotta get the ball out in time to my receivers. Uh, got I gotta sit inside the pocket, get it like 3-step drop, wait for my receivers to develop their routes
Yeah.
and stuff.
So even in that, what gives you the confidence to know that you can continue to play and be at elite level? Was you surprised when you first started playing and you were making different plays, making spectacular throws? Were you surprised, or what kept you going?
I was surprised. Last year, I was in fifth grade playing sixth grade, so that was my first time playing up. I was surprised I was actually doing good against sixth graders.
Yeah,
So like when we was when we was like we was playing against McKeecher, our first game,
yeah,
it was kind of challenging, but like the like second going inside third quarter, I got inside my groove and stuff.
yeah. And when you inside that groove, that mean everything is flowing on all cylinders. The ball is coming out just right. You running, you reading the defenses right. When you come to hard times, how is it and how do you handle it being that your dad is a coach and he's your father as well? How do you handle that?
Try to stay calm, don't get an attitude,
Yeah,
don't have my head down inside. Like when I get my head down when I throw a pick or something, throw a
yeah.
pick or a bad ball.
Yeah, and Coach Will, how do you balance being both a coach and a dad? Do you find it difficult to separate the two roles?
Yeah, in the beginning it was definitely difficult. I think as we don't got older, a little bit more on the journey, I'm starting to, kind of just tail off a little bit. I love football for one, so I love being out there regardless. But it just gives that extra layer of love, seeing, that my son is out there and he excelling and doing well, even with an older group. So game days are good for us. Like we know what we got to do the night before. We know what we do in the morning. I mean, we got the same routine, on Friday nights and Saturday morning. We don't change anything, but just kind of taking all the good and the bad, and not really getting complacent when he do good.
Yeah.
We just keep working, you know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of credit to his quarterback coaches where, they keep me grounded just off the information to let me know like what to keep working on or anything like that.
Yeah, and one thing I love as even talking to you and continuing to talk to you, you are allowing him to be developed by the right type of people and you give him the shout out. Most parents, they take all the props and they like, I gotta be hands on, hands off, but you know football. So okay, this coach is gonna be able to tell me this, or this coach is gonna be able to allow him to get better. So I'm gonna let him go with him or train with him. What made you take yourself away from it and know like, King is the most important thing and I need to allow whatever greatness is going to be around him to be around him.
I mean, I just noticed at an early time frame that this wasn't about me. Me, my wife, quarterback coach. I mean, all of us, even down to family friends. Like we just kind of like everybody's invested into, his success. You know what I mean? So, um, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things that those coaches have done with him. Being father and coach, you know what I mean? Because naturally you want your son to do good. So you're gonna coach him a lot harder, you're gonna be on him a lot harder. But those guys that really shown me how to like, be patient in some aspects of it, it's still a work in progress
Yeah.
just because, he's still working through his journey and progressing. So, I just want to I'm hard on him because I want him to stay focused because I can just see where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
But again, we still kind of stay in the moment too. So it's more so, man, I let them know at an early age, like you better than me. I couldn't do a lot of the things that you do right now. Um, and it was putting them first. It's not about me. It's putting them first.
Yeah. And what would you say to other coaches that may be coaching their sons or coaching someone that's related to them about coaching him different, about even special treatments that they may have? What is the right way that you found doing it or that you even think as a coach is the best way to do that?
I mean, definitely just have people around you that's going to tell you the truth. I think that's the biggest thing about these quarterback coaches. I can't really say coaches too much because, up until last year. Like I was his main coach, as far as like uh tackle football. But outside of that, I mean, we've done Elite 11, we've done FBU, we've done quarterback takeover, with Quincy Avery, guys like that, and all of them are honest, and so the things that I don't run to his rescue every time. He got to be told, when he's not doing something. So my advice to parents would be, hey, first of all, don't be in the way of your child, regardless of the position they play, but especially at quarterback. Be ready to be the mentor, the bank, the manager, all those things, but be that in a respectful way where you don't burn the bridge or you don't get a bad name for yourself. And now your kid, um, you know, inevitably like suffers from that, because now they don't want to deal with the dad, so they don't want the kid,
Yeah.
you know.
And King, how would you tell a young player or a player your age that might be, being coached by a relative or a father or somebody that's close to him? How would you tell them to handle that?
I'll say if your parents is telling you something, listen. Don't like throw that away. Like if they tell you to do like a 3-step drop and you do the opposite of it, that means like you're not listening to them.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. You're ranked third in the nation. How do you handle the pressure and the expectation that comes with that being ranked so high as a top quarterback?
I really don't focus on negative people. I just work on my craft and stuff to get better to to be first instead of third. But I take third though.
Yeah, that's good. And you humble because I hear you talking about your teammates as well. And I just see the chemistry and the camaraderie and the brotherhood that y'all got. How do y'all keep that and remain tight? How y'all bond?
Like we don't disrespect each other. We're like if somebody make a bad play, like one of our teammates, we help them up. Don't don't get them down. Keep them up.
Yeah. And Coach Will, what steps have you taken to ensure that your sons develops not only as a player but as a young man as well?
I just try to correct him when he's wrong, show him, this is a result that you're gonna get based on, the decision you made. So we can take it as like, pregame stuff. If you don't warm up the right way, more than likely you might not have a good game, and it's been times like that, we haven't took the warm-ups as serious, what I mean? And, he may go out there and, have a mediocre game because I feel like we treat practice and we treat all the preparation stuff, like a game for the game to be easier.
Yeah.
So like I said, when we go into training, he locked in, laser focused. So then when he sees it in the game, it's like, well, he can speak it back to you,
Yeah.
and can kind of correct his mistakes too in the moment, which is, odd for kids this age right now. So, it's just basically just pointing out how preparation is key for a lot of things that he does and for a quarterback. I mean, I tell him all the time, like, they waiting for you to mess up or look bad, so don't give them that,
Yeah.
and don't and always be prepared to do what's necessary and go above and beyond because at the end of the day, that's what you looked at to do anyway as a quarterback. You got to be that first guy in, last guy out type of guy, and that's kind of how it is. So I try to uphold that. We try to make it to practice 30 minutes early, get some throws in, stuff like that. And then we throw after practice. So we one of the last ones leaving the field too.
Yeah. How do you help him stay grounded being ranked so high? And what do you do to, manage the pressure and take away pressure and still allow him to go out there and have fun, but still be elite?
I mean, I'll definitely show them and tell them, this is what so far with your hard work has got you to. But he honestly, man, he could care less about the rankings. He just want to get better, and stay consistent and stay good, stay leading his team. I think ever since we don't got to North Cobb, it's been less about individual and more about team. You know what I mean? Playing park ball and everything that we did up to last year, it was an individual type of approach to it. You know, it was always about just how to keep him, with that competitive edge or whatever. But here, at North Cobb and just playing organized football for the school now, it's just more so like you got your time to stay grounded and to work and everything like that. And all the coaches acknowledge your hard work. So that makes it even easier for you to go put the extra work in.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, man. Like I said, he don't care. He just care about the scoreboard. He just care if he making his throws. We had a game yesterday against Blessed Trinity. I'm not the play caller. Our play caller was out yesterday. But he kind of got mad at me because I ain't let him put it in the air as much as he wanted to. But I mean, we got the dub 42-6. So, at the end of the day, it's just about the result, man. We just keep working.
Yeah, and King, how do you balance being an elite football player, still being a teenager, but still make sure that you do what you're doing, and taking care of your grades and taking care of, school? How do you balance that?
Staying humble and focusing on stuff that I really need to do instead of like playing the video games and stuff.
Yeah. How would you say to a younger person that might be struggling with their grades and still playing football? What would you say to that young person?
I say focus before like one of like your coaches see your grades. You might get kicked off the team.
Yeah, yeah, and that's good. You guys are putting grades first and being academically, focused because some people they just care about the sports. Being that your whole team is seeming like y'all buying into being it. That's why I said it's gonna be greatness coming from y'all group. What does a typical training week look like for you, King? What are some of the things y'all do at practice that y'all go over as a quarterback?
So when it's defensive days, me and my offensive coordinator, Coach Will, we go to the side and warm up and throw. On offensive days, we work with the running backs, like our running plays and stuff, and my handoffs and my then we gather up the receivers and we throw routes.
Yeah. What do you do when you can tell that your receivers is kind of slacking or not running the routes all the way? Do you talk to them and have the conversation? Do you delay it to your coach or you wait for the coach to say something? What do you do?
I tell them just if they're like jogging, I'll tell them like run at full speed if you're not getting the ball or nothing. I
Yeah.
might get off at the other read and come to you.
Yeah. And when I had came home from meeting you guys up there, meeting the team, I was looking through some videos, watching a couple game film, and I seen the game where y'all played at the Falcon Stadium. Was that last year or the year before last?
Last year,
Last year. How did that feel playing in the NFL field and you was dropping dimes? I like the one where you were like down to where they had a big screen at, you threw like to the corner. You threw a touchdown over there, and I was like, wow, like it looked amazing. You out there on the NFL field making plays. How was that experience?
it was great. Uh, it was great watching the game. It was great being with my guys and stuff on NFL field playing against people.
Was y'all nervous?
No,
Oh, y'all wasn't. Yeah, and what was the running back number 22?
yes, Ryder.
Yeah, yeah. You threw a little screen pass to him when you read the defense was coming, and then you just boom, and you threw it down, and then he took it to the house. So I was like, man, that's amazing. Coach Will, as a coach and as a parent, how do you manage with him, his grades, his goals, and his field play, and this just how y'all communicate and what you want to see from him and what he want to see out of himself? Like, did he say, Dad, I want to do this? Like, is he given a chance to read audibles or audible plays, or he say, Dad, I see this, or he be able to like tell you what he see for y'all can use what he's saying? How does that work?
I mean, well, the go to like the aspect with school and everything. I mean, it's been something that me and my wife have done since he was little, just kind of keep things routine for him.
Yeah.
Where he just don't have to think about too much other than what the task is at hand. So with school, he knows I don't bring nothing lower than a B. That's worst case. You know what I mean? Definitely shooting for an A every time. But I think our parenting method is, we're gonna let you um have a little leeway just because we don't want to be too tough. I mean, I feel like the world right now is just tough on everybody. So to add that pressure to a kid on top of, playing that position that he plays is always pressure. It's always, somebody gunning for you, things like that. We just try to keep it routine for him. As far as on the field, yeah. It's definitely times that he says that he see things, and it's two Coach Wills on our team, so the OC is Coach Will also. We all three got a good rapport together. I mean, we talk text all the time about what we see or what we want to do for this week. I actually set up the game plans for our offense, watching film and everything, so he gets a lot of time on watching film. I think this summer, man, we really just used the summer as, getting bigger. Because we knew we were going to seventh grade, and it's just guys gonna get bigger and bigger every year. So we just wanted to get a little bit bigger and stronger, a little bit more smarter on the chalkboard as far as, knowing what to read, how to read it. And then making his quarterback training a little bit more challenging with those things. So Coach Ron Ville does a great job with him now, always asking questions on the field, always giving him scenarios when we train. It's just not King is at a point now where he doesn't have to keep doing the same old repetitive things. We do that together. When he goes to training, he can go learn something new, or he can continue to work on things that we see on the field. The dropbacks and things like that, we do that by ourselves. You know what I mean? We got videos of dropping back in the house, throwing in the house, and my TV is right next to where you're throwing at. So if you hit the TV, guess what? You're in trouble.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So everything gotta, it's just about accuracy and just being locked in and dialed in. So yeah, he's definitely moving to that point. We definitely we'll be going on week 3 this week. So uh, everybody's getting settled in, man. We had a lot of new guys come in, that kind of fill some holes that we had from last year. So I think everybody's pretty much settled in after that win we had this past weekend. And he'll definitely get a little bit more freedom.
Yeah. What I got this two-part question. What was the first thing that made you see that he needed to play up? And from the first start, do you remember the first time he played up until now? How has the progress been?
What showed me, is we tried out for FBU, and he was a 4th grader, and we tried out for the 5th grade team. And I think at that point right there, it kind of showed me he was already a lead at his age group. As far as at that time it was 9U. He was rare breed for a minute, and then we went over to CDJ, and he did good in both aspects. And those are 2 teams that got elite kids. You'll be seeing them, on Friday nights, lighting it up too, and then when things didn't work out, it's kind of far for us too, as far as living on Austell and then driving all the way to Stone Mountain was just tough, man. So we stopped and then we just trained and then we went out there to try out for FBU. He saw what it was, got through the tryout, ended up starting at quarterback for the 10U FBU team. We went down to Naples, had a good run, and then that's what let me know then, even though after that I didn't know if he was going to be allowed to, because a lot of schools don't allow you to do it. North Cobb saw, his potential, his style of play, what we can do with that. And we just had the guys around him that can uphold that, and it's been, it's been good since then. And then if you, like you said, the first snap playing up, I mean, it's a big difference right now. I joke with him all the time. I ask him like, "Are you nervous?" And he always look at me like I'm crazy. But I think I'm asking that because I'm more so nervous. And from that first snap, man, to the last snap yesterday, I mean, it's just night and day. He's just getting more comfortable. Um, it's starting to slow down for him. And so that's a scary thing because once it starts to slow down for him, I mean, he'll be able to see everything.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly for them opponents.
Yeah,
It's gonna
definitely.
get real ugly. King, how do you earn the respect of your older teammates? Do they treat you differently because of your skill set and because you ranked high?
No, the only thing they talk about that they said I'm in sixth grade and seventh grade. They make fun about that because
Uh,
I'm younger than. 'Em.
but
But
your play makes up for itself, so they see you're a baller, so they don't really have no problems in that aspect, huh?
no, sir.
Uh, what do y'all do? What do your pregame ritual look like? What do you do pregame to get you ready, motivated? Is you listening to music? Is you just sitting there? How
I
does that?
mostly it helps me. I listen to music, so it helps me focus.
Yeah. I seen y'all inside the dugout or where the stands was at, and y'all always just focused. And that was like I had told your dad earlier, and I had told Coach Matika, I never seen nothing like that from middle school football players. That's normally something high school and colleges do. Y'all all on one accord, y'all locked in, wasn't nobody playing, wasn't nobody hitting, or just doing stuff that ain't supposed to do. Where did you get that to lock in and to be focused and just be mentally tough? Because that's what it is.
Because our standard, like Isaac said earlier, it was elite. So we gotta stay elite, like no playing around and stuff. Like we gotta stay like we actually a good team instead of like playing around, hitting each other and stuff.
Yeah. And I love that. But one thing I know you notice as well, you got the secret weapon because your dad love football. He's into football and he's coaching out there as well. So y'all guys get to have as many learning sessions as y'all want to, many film sessions, many conversations about it. So take that in and always, enjoy it and admire it because that's gonna help you get there. And then the days when you go off by yourself, you're gonna remember all the stuff that y'all talked about and that was installed inside you is going to be useful. Where some people got that and they don't even understand it. Like I see many people, they arguing with their dads and their dad's coaching, and it's like, dang, but to see you doing it the right way, to see coach doing it the right way, it means something. And that's what other people need to see because it can be done the right way. It can be, go hand in hand to where it turns out to be successful. Coach, what challenges have you faced in coaching young players, especially when competing against other athletes, some maybe younger as King?
I mean, like I said, it's really the adults, man, that can, kill a good time. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that now as they're getting older. And you don't really have that say no more, you know what I mean? Because in middle school, man, like it's no nonsense, you know what I mean? If you're gonna be a problem, then they don't need you. They don't want you. You know what I mean? You got to be locked in. You got to be about the culture and everything. So I think the main thing is to just staying out of the way. And again, I can't say that enough. To the parents that have younger kids that may be about to come through the ranks, or even where we are now. It's just about the kid, man, and making sure that they're getting developed in the right way, making sure that the training that you're doing makes sense and it'll translate to the field. I think that's a huge thing too, where people want to do all these, drills and stuff, but they don't really translate to the field.
Yeah.
And I just, we just take what's given to us. I think we face a lot of adversity or backlash right now because he only plays one sport, 365 football. So a lot of people, think that that's a bad thing, but hey, I mean, if we locked in to one thing and we can master that craft, then that's cool. We'll take that. We'll take our chances with it.
Yeah. What's your goals for him now into the end of the season and even for the team?
I mean, personal goal for him, man, is I mean the stats gonna be there, but it's more so of the maturity of the mind. Just knowing that he's matured in a way where you know it translates into off season. We don't have to we don't have to go back through the baby steps. Like I said, we always do the boring work, and that's the dropbacks. That's just throwing we 23-step drops and I need them perfect or it doesn't count. Things like that. So I just want to see the growth in his mind. And honestly, I've already seen it within the past 2 weeks. The not getting down when something don't go right. We had an early interception thrown last week against Dalton. He came off and it kind of bothered him a little bit just because we knew that we didn't have it, but we still wanted to try to take a chance at it. That's what the result was. But halftime we just had a little talk. Coach Dallas, our head coach, said some things at halftime too to get guys locked back in. That's part of that meditation thing that you guys seen. And he came back out there focused, ready to go. He actually called a few audibles in that game and they worked. So I'm starting to see what I want to see earlier than what I expected. So, a lot of that goes hand in hand again with, once it starts slowing down and processing it a lot faster and easier, it just becomes, second nature at that point.
Yeah. King, is there any quarterbacks in the NFL that you pattern your game after, or that you look up to, or that you learn or have learned from?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
So I
Mahomes.
like Patrick Mahomes because he stays in the pocket. He don't run like that. He got like pocket awareness when somebody's coming, he can step up in the pocket and make a throw. He's a
Yeah.
playmaker when he's out to get tackled. He does like some crazy beyond the back something, beyond the back pass to like
Yeah.
Travis Kelce or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So, and
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, he got hurt because he's short, throw the ball. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, them two good quarterbacks. The one is really great. Like I was telling your dad, man, he put my team out the playoffs 3 years in a row. So he definitely making noise, and they got a good chance of three-peating this year. So we definitely see how that happens. But you can see a lot of resemblance in those two players in you and your game as well. Despite you being left-handed, of course, but you're doing all the things, you making all the plays, and you humble, like them two humble quarterbacks. And so keep that up, continue to keep that up as well. What will you do from this day forward to make sure that your teammates stay focused? Because I heard a lot of them today say they be getting down on themselves. So what can you do to, make sure that they're ready to play and that they're not getting down on themselves?
I'll tell them, are they ready? They say, yeah. I'll hype them up and stuff. But if they don't, like, I'll tell them, don't just get out their head and just focus on the game that we finna play.
Yeah, because they look up to you, like even me seeing it today, but just seeing it all, they look up to you, and they gonna need you to continue to lead them, even though you younger, but you got a leadership role, and a lot of people can't handle that, but you're handling it and you're killing it in that area. Your team, they King this, King this. Even when I was getting their information and they was putting it in my Instagram, they kept seeing your name over there. They like, there go King right there, there go King, and they lighten up and just see the fun that they have with you. So continue to be there for them and to help motivate them and take them to the next level. What is your goals for the rest of the season, individually and team wise?
I'll say get more passing yards than I did last year, more completions, more touchdowns, and getting the ball to my receivers.
Yeah. Is y'all got a spread offense? Do y'all run different
Yeah.
offensive sets?
Yes, we run. We got empty. We got empty.
Wow, yeah.
Great.
For your linemen, is it certain calls or certain adjustments that they have to make that you see at the line that you kind of tell them, or even if they come back to the huddle?
Yeah.
Street! Dre! Red Polly! Blue poncho!
I appreciate this, it means a lot. You guys' journey need to be seen for kids can see, for coaches can see, how to do it the right way. And I praise y'all for doing it the right way. And like I said, I've been hearing about y'all team, following it from afar, but to get to be around y'all, to see the love, to see the games, to, be anticipating Coach Matika sending me the score, seeing if y'all win or not. Coach, what would you like to see from the other players as well, towards the end of the season, the ones that we talked about are the, the skilled position players and the, defensive players that mean a lot to the team.
Nah, I just want everybody mental toughness to grow. That's the growth in the mind. Just staying above the negativity. A lot of people gonna say what they want to say. My message to them guys been like, hey, we all in the same shit, man. Like we can't point fingers if something go wrong and then we want to hug and congratulate when something go right. We gotta, it's gotta be understood that we all in it together. Like I said, people can make their comparisons, say somebody's better or you better or whatever. And I just think we just built a culture here at for our seventh grade team that, nobody's above the team. Like you are the best at your position. Yes, do what you're supposed to do. And that's what we expect. That's why we use the word elite a lot at North Cobb, and specifically our team. But like I said, the growth that I see in him so far, with maturity and on field stuff. I mean, I'm starting to see it with a lot of the kids. And we have some guys. Our old line is starting to really gel really well. Where we got, like I said, multiple people. Like I told you earlier, the center been doing it, but now all the other, all five now are doing, calling out the blitz. I mean, they tell him every game, that we gonna make sure you don't get touched. Or they know I'm his dad, so they'll come up to me sometimes and say, "Hey, coach, I'm gonna make sure King don't get sacked today." So in two games, he got sacked once, and that was really just a missed call, really from offensive side. We supposed to have somebody lock on to the guy. He came through free. That's on us. It wasn't on the O line. But going from last year, he only got sacked 5 times last year. So out of the whole 10 to 12 games that we played, so I see it in all of them, man. And like I told those guys, like I see 4 and 5 stars right now on the field.
Yeah.
I don't see 7th graders. I see 4 and 5 star, 17, 18-year-old guys that's, going to go sign major scholarships, things like that. I hope to be at all of them. Be proud because, I had a little small piece in that journey for them kids, but everybody's working, man. I think, the training and all that, I just think all that these guys see each other doing it and they want to go do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got almost the whole squad that you saw earlier upstairs right now and playing NCAA football on so that's the type of things that we do to jail, little cookout today and we gonna eat together, we break bread together, things like that. So you never not seeing each other. You always building that camaraderie with each other. So, I mean, we build it to a championship, man. Every rep that we take in practice, every rep that we take in the game is supposed to be a championship rep. We're supposed to go 1-0 on every rep. So
Yeah.
that's how we approach it.
Yeah, I love it, love it. And before we end out, King, whatever comes to your heart, say something to the youth that may be watching.
I say lock in, stay focused. Don't pay attention to the negative stuff that people are saying to you. Like on social media, something say like you suck or something. Don't don't listen to that. Just listen to like your parents, your coaches and stuff that's on your side and want you to succeed in life.
Yeah. We thank y'all. I thank y'all for allowing me to be a part of this. Means a lot. We gonna keep on, following y'all, supporting y'all, sharing y'all. And King, like I said earlier, may you continue to be a good leader. Keep on striving for the best, striving for greatness, doing above and beyond. Don't let your age, your height, anything set you apart, because you know that you are destined. You have everything inside you what it needs to be great. And coach, for you to continue to be a great man that you are, husband, leader, mentor as well. Keep on guiding them, keep on, allowing them to know the greatness inside them and coaching them up the right way. Cause that's what I keep on seeing. Like you said, elite, I can see why it all goes hand in hand, the elite program from the elite coaching from the elite skills. So, I just pray that God bless y'all and give y'all favor in every arena that y'all needed.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity, man. And like I told you earlier, this don't have to be the last time. We definitely can do some great things. And I wouldn't mind, but if putting anybody out there, to give them this opportunity to speak about their journey. Because everybody has a different path. We might be sitting at the table right now, but it was, you sitting there and I'm sitting here, but we took different paths to get where we want to, where we are today.
Yeah.
So, all I can say, man, is if I had something to say to the youth, it would just be, stay humble. Definitely try to develop some tough skin, because it's gonna be a lot of, naysayers, more so than not. And parents just, like I said, just give it up to the kids, man. Like let them go ahead and rock out and do what they're supposed to do, and just be that support for them, behind them, in any way possible. But don't be the issue for them. So
Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, King Hollander and Coach Hollander.